So, board game review. This time the game in question is a Rattus by a couple that I think may well be Norwegian, and that was kind of why I bought it. Also because it's set in the Middle Ages, the High Medieval period, and it's about the Black Death, which I think sounds like a really cool premise for a game. It comes with, of course, rules and directions in, I think it was French and German, as well as English, of course, and Norwegian, which I'm pretty sure must mean that these people are Norwegians, and I have to say, I think that is so cool. My nationalistic side really loves that. It's all about, basically, in the year 1347, spreading the Black Death, spread through rats, of course, and for the players to try to keep their inhabitants surviving. And you get the board here, let's see. Of course, it's a map of Europe. Kind of rough, as it was in those days. These are various inhabitants. It's a game for 4 players. That's why there's 4 colors. 2 to 4 players, I think. Let's see. If I can get this. So each player will have to pick a color and try to keep as many of these on the board as possible. This is the Black Death, which, as I understand it, will move around the board, spreading the disease. And what will help keep track of that are these, let's see, which are plague chips, or actually plague rats. And as I understand the rules, I read through them. The Black Death moves around, and where it moves, these rats pop up. And as you see, they have, whoops, stay here, Mr. Death. They have various symbols on the back here, and that's all about who they affect. In this case, I guess, the clergy, for instance, and also how severe it is. And as for these clergy and so on, there are cards, huge cards, that, again, as I understand it, the players can get to have on their hand or on the table, and this is basically what determines whether this applies to any one player or not, and whether or not his or her inhabitants, their areas here, will be able to survive. So far I haven't played the game. I'm going to very soon, so that will make up the second part of this video. Hopefully it'll be as much fun as it looks. I'm really looking forward to it. I think the game looks like it has a lot of potential because it's really simple and there aren't a lot of doodads. As long as we can figure these out, I think that should be pretty straightforward. I think it should be relatively easy to play. Fingers crossed.
Get on the thingstedt.
Så gjør det.
Tar du bilde?
I filmer. I'm making a board game review.
And I have to tell you that you are losing one more.
I'm dying.
You're dying.
The witches are dying of the plague.
The majority.
Now I have to speak English because you're taking the review.
Du kan snakke det språket du vil. Jeg kan bare vise frem hvordan vi spiller. Just showing off the game, we're playing it. Had a kind of a tricky getting our heads around it, but now I think we figured it out. Seems to be working. But green is just, there's hardly any green. I'm dying. Or my people are dying of the horrible plague. Yes, look! Ooh, a tower of potential plague victims. I'm sorry, I had to. The devil made me do it. You may pick a card, you don't have to. Whichever card you like. The king.
So first.
So they'll give you abilities and you can use them at any point during your turn.
Okay.
Jo, men du har noen blå kubber som befinner seg i området uten rotter. Så.
Ja.
Så nå kan jeg sette I can put 2 on those that...
Yeah. On those where there are 2 rats, you can put 2. If there's 1 rat, you can put 1. Because she's still a peasant, yeah. So basically, yeah, anywhere but in sort of relatively Central Europe.
Yeah.
More there, yeah.
And now I can move 3.
Yeah. From a neighboring region.
Right?
Yeah.
And I can put 1.
1 in the palace.
Quarantine.
Yeah. To keep it safe. And then you have to move the plague to some neighboring region.
That has
a rat.
Okay. But
No, you can move it to whichever region. It doesn't have to have a rat. But
Okay.
rats will appear in its wake. So, but obviously you'll want to move it away from your pieces.
Yeah.
You actually have a lot of pieces in most of the areas, but
It's there then.
yeah.
So
Then
I have to put
yeah,
1
pull the
rat.
number of rat tokens on
1.
yeah. 1, because there's 1 where you moved it, so you put 1 token on some neighboring region. Yeah. And then you turn over the initial token.
4 plus.
Yeah. But he's not the knight, so there's only 3, that means it doesn't count and nobody dies.
Okay.
Woo. Farewell, plague rat. We're all going to die!
Yes.
Oh,
Ah,
die. Okay.
except her. The killer.
Og så må jeg begynne å åpne.
Ja.
Ja.
Nei, skulle jeg legge noe
Ja, du må
Du må
legge
legge
ut
2
2.
rotter på et som grenser til. Hvilket
2 hideous plague
alt
rats.
rundt der.
Alt rundt.
Plague rats everywhere. Oh my god.
Rotor.
Sånn.
Rotor.
Og så er det majoriteten mister 1, og det er den røde.
Ja.
Det er ikke verst.
Plague ravage is the continent at the end of the game.
Ja.
More rats.
Sånn. 1 pluss majoriteten.
Men det...
Ja, det er så likt, så da må begge fjerne en...
Okay.
Ja.
2 pluss
Ja.
Ja.
ridder.
Og prest, han har ingen av
ingen av
delene.
delene. Akkurat da.
2 prest og bonde.
Ja.
Og majoriteten, og det er han som har fjernet 2.
Da.
Sånn.
Ok.
Da.
I am totally the loser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woohoo!
2, 3,
Final tally.
7,
I won.
9, 11,
Pretty sure I lost.
4,
2, 5, 7, 9, 10, 14. Jeg hadde 13.
Ja, jeg har 13.
I won.
I totally lost, and here's the winner. Woohoo! Okay, so what do we think? It's a pretty fun game, actually.
Yeah.
Once you figure out what to do in each turn. I like it. Except that all my guys died. All my people died. Only these sad remnants are left.
Die.
Alas, yes. That is the sad truth.
Okay.
So, some final thoughts on the game now that we've played it through for the first time. I think it's going to turn out to be a really good game. I think we're going to play it quite a lot. It was a bit tricky to figure out what we had to do, all the motions of the game in which order. We kind of forgot things and had to go back and all. But that worked out relatively quickly. After a few rounds we were able to figure out what we should do when. And we had quite a lot of fun with it. And it was a pretty fast-paced game. Something happening all the time. And yeah, it was fun. I recommend it. Basically, you have all these pieces. 4 different colors. I do think definitely that the game is going to be the most fun with the maximum number of players. It's for 2 to 4 players, but I think definitely we were 4 last night when we played it, and I definitely think that all 4 spaces should be filled, probably, for it to live up to its full potential. Basically, the players each get these cubes in one color, and you place them in the various regions in order to indicate how many people, the population is of your followers or whatever in that region. And then the plague moves around, has outbreaks here and there, and kills off your people, sadly, little by little. And it does so by these rat tokens. You start out with 1 token in each, and eventually, gradually, you build up, or they disappear, of course, from various regions through the gameplay, where each player has to place some of these. And basically, when the time is right in the game, you turn them over to reveal them, and this indicates how many people, or cubes, have to be in that region for this token to apply, 3 or more, and how it will affect those that are there. Players playing certain characters will be affected, merchant, witch, and this, the majority. Here, both the majority and all. So the player with the most tokens in that region will lose 1, and all the players with tokens in that region will lose 1. As for the characters, they're represented by these cards, which you pick. You get to pick 1 if you want. During each turn of the game, they move around. You don't get to keep them permanently. You get them for that round, and then someone else can take them off you. Basically, they give you various abilities, which can be really handy, but they also make it more likely for your characters, for your populations, your cubes, to be killed off if there is an outbreak of the plague. So that's, you gotta weigh that. I think I picked this witch, and I got stuck with her, and I think that was the reason why I lost the game, or at least a contributing factor, strongly contributing factor, because I lost quite a few people because I was the witch, as you see. This means that some of the witch's followers will die if this is revealed. So it was actually a lot simpler than it looked when we first started, because then it was, we kept forgetting what we should do and in which order we should do it. But it took only a few turns to really get into that, and yeah, it was a fun game that I recommend. Fast-paced, with something to do the whole time for everyone, and fun to play. A very good idea, an original idea. I really like it. We'll definitely be playing this a lot more. Rattus by Åse and Henrik Berg. Recommended.